You know what's funny? People will hurt you and still expect your loyalty. You'll give them your love, your effort, your trust, and they'll treat it like it was nothing. And then, when you finally break down, they'll call you too emotional, too dramatic, or weak. But here's the truth no one wants to hear. The world doesn't care about your tears. You can cry for hours, hide in your room, delete social media, disappear for a week. But life keeps moving. It doesn't pause for your heartbreak. It doesn't stop for your pain. Because this world only respects results, not emotions. And I know that sounds cold, but it's reality. If you keep waiting for people to understand your pain, you'll stay stuck. The same people who hurt you won't come to fix you. They'll move on, and you'll still be sitting there, replaying the story in your head. At some point, you have to realize, no one's coming to save you. Not your friends, not your family, not even the people who said they cared. Because everyone is busy fighting their own battles. So stop expecting the world to hold your hand. You have to become your own rescue plan. Yeah, cry if you need to. But after that, wipe your face, stand up, and say, "Now it's my turn." Because your pain doesn't make you special. What you do with that pain does. Every time you stand up, when life knocks you down, you're building something powerful. You're building resilience, the kind of strength that can't be taught. You're learning how to survive in a world that doesn't care. And once you get used to standing up alone, something magical happens. You stop being afraid of being alone. You stop chasing validation. You stop begging people to see your worth. You realize your strength was never meant to be seen. It was meant to be felt. The truth is, pain isn't your enemy. Comfort is. Pain wakes you up. It shows you what's real, who's fake, and what truly matters. When you've been through enough darkness, you start seeing light differently. You stop taking peace for granted. You stop saying yes to everything and start protecting your energy like it's gold. Because once you've been broken, you don't want noise anymore. You want peace. And that peace comes from one thing: control. Control over how you react, how you heal, and how you move forward. You see, strength isn't about never crying. It's about crying and still showing up. It's about being tired, hurt, and still choosing to try again. Because real warriors don't fight with muscles. They fight with patience, silence, and consistency. You might think no one sees your effort, but trust me, the universe does. Every silent night you survive, every tear you turn into power, it's building something bigger than you realize. It's shaping you for the moment where your story inspires someone else. So no, the world doesn't care about your tears, but that's okay. Because you don't need the world to care. You just need you to care enough to not give up. You don't need sympathy. You need fire. You don't need people to feel bad for you. You need people to watch you rise and say, "Damn, she made it." So stop waiting for compassion. Start building strength. The world won't hand you peace. You'll have to earn it with your scars, your silence, and your will to never stay broken. That's how you win in a world that doesn't care. You become stronger than the pain that tried to destroy you. You know what's crazy? We grow up being told, be kind, be nice, help everyone. But no one tells us what happens when you give too much of yourself. No one teaches us that kindness without boundaries destroys you. You keep showing up for people who never show up for you. You answer calls, listen to problems, fix messes, comfort everyone, and somehow you're still the one who ends up empty. Let me tell you something real. Being kind is beautiful, but being too kind will break you. Because the truth is, not everyone deserves your softness. Some people are not lost. They're just lazy with your love. They don't want help. They want control. They don't appreciate your effort. They expect it. And you keep giving because you think maybe this time it'll be different. But it never is. They take. They drain. They leave. And you sit there wondering what's wrong with you. But listen carefully. There's nothing wrong with you. You just forgot to protect yourself. Being kind doesn't mean being available 24/7. It doesn't mean saying yes when your soul screams no. It means giving love wisely, not endlessly. Because love without limits turns into self-destruction. You can't save everyone. You can't heal people who enjoy their pain. You can't pour from an empty cup. And you can't expect loyalty from people who don't even respect themselves. I know you want to be a good person. The one who brings light, the one who helps. But sometimes, being good becomes your prison. You start losing your voice just to keep others comfortable. You start shrinking just to fit in. You start saying, "It's okay," to things that are not okay. That's not kindness. That's fear. Fear of losing people who are already halfway out the door. You've got to stop confusing loyalty with self-neglect. Sometimes walking away is the kindest thing you can do for both of you. Because when you keep rescuing people from their own lessons, you're not helping them. You're delaying their growth. And you're destroying your own in the process. Let me say this loud. Kindness needs boundaries. If your kindness costs you your peace, your energy, your mental health, it's too expensive. The world needs your heart, yes, but not at the price of your sanity. You're allowed to say no. You're allowed to protect your space. You're allowed to disappear and recharge. That's not being rude. That's being responsible for your energy. And when you start setting boundaries, you'll notice something strange. The wrong people will get angry. They'll call you cold, selfish, changed. But the right people, they'll respect it. Because they understand. Only a person who knows their worth can say no. Don't let guilt fool you. Boundaries are not walls. They're doors with locks. You decide who enters and who doesn't. And let me tell you something powerful. When you stop over giving, you start attracting people who give back. People who see your effort, match your energy, and respect your limits. That's the kind of peace you've been craving all along. So no, you don't have to harden your heart. Just learn when to stop pouring. Learn when to walk away quietly. Learn when your kindness is turning into self-betrayal. Because the world doesn't need another broken soul pretending to be fine. It needs strong hearts with clear boundaries. People who know that love isn't about losing yourself. It's about sharing yourself wisely. So next time someone calls you too kind, smile and say, "No, I just finally learned where to stop." You know what's funny? Everybody wants change, but nobody wants discomfort. We all say, "I want a better life. I want success. I want peace." But the moment life gets uncomfortable, we quit. That's the problem. We've become addicted to comfort. We want transformation without sacrifice, results without struggle, peace without pain. But that's not how growth works. Comfort is the enemy of growth. You can't evolve while you're protecting your comfort zone. Because comfort doesn't challenge you. It keeps you small. It makes you repeat the same day, again and again, until your dreams die quietly inside you. Every person you admire, every name that inspires you, they all paid a price. They all went through fire. And that's what made them unbreakable. You think they liked it. You think waking up early, failing, losing people, being misunderstood, was easy. No. But they did it anyway. Because they understood one simple truth. Growth feels like pain before it feels like power. Discipline isn't fun. Facing your fears isn't fun. Staying consistent when no one supports you isn't fun. But you know what's worse? Waking up 5 years from now and realizing you're in the exact same place with the exact same excuses. Comfort will give you temporary peace, but growth will give you permanent power. The real difference between people who make it and people who don't isn't luck, or talent, or timing. It's tolerance for discomfort. Because the truth is, success hides behind boring, painful, daily effort. You say you want success, but do you want to do the work when no one's clapping? You say you want freedom, but are you ready to face loneliness while building it? You say you want peace, but are you willing to cut off chaos disguised as love? That's what growth demands. Sacrifice. You can't take your comfort zone with you into your next level. Every version of you that's comfortable right now will have to die for your next version to live. And that hurts. Because change means letting go. Letting go of habits, people, and sometimes even parts of yourself. But if you keep choosing comfort, you're choosing to stay the same. And staying the same is the slowest form of dying. Growth isn't supposed to feel good. It's supposed to stretch you. It's supposed to scare you, confuse you, and make you question everything. But that's how transformation begins. That's how strong minds are built. Not through ease, but through endurance. You've got to train your mind to stay calm in discomfort. To stop running every time things get hard. Because the ones who win aren't the strongest. They're the ones who don't stop when it gets painful. You see, comfort whispers, "You're okay here." Growth shouts, "You were made for more." So stop romanticizing comfort. Stop calling fear safety. And stop waiting for motivation. It won't come every day. Do it anyway. Work when it's boring. Try when it's hard. Show up when no one believes in you. That's how you grow. Not by feeling ready, but by acting even when you're not. The truth is, the discomfort you feel now is building a stronger version of you. The pain that's breaking you is preparing you. And one day, when you look back, you'll thank the days that hurt the most. Because those were the days that built you. So, don't fear being uncomfortable. Fear being ordinary. Fear wasting your potential because you wanted to stay safe. Comfort is a liar. It tells you you're okay when you're stuck. But deep down, you know you're meant for more. So go where it's scary. Do what stretches your soul. And remember, growth will never come easy, but it'll always be worth it. Because the pain of growth lasts for a moment. But the pain of regret? That lasts forever. You know what's crazy? The older you get, the more you realize. Not everyone deserves access to you. At first, you think love means letting everyone in. You think being kind means saying yes to everyone. You think loyalty means standing by people no matter how they treat you. But that's not love. That's how you lose yourself. Some people only love you when you're weak. They like you small, quiet, available. Because it makes them feel stronger. They feed off your softness, your attention, your energy. And the moment you start growing, they start hating. They say you've changed. They call you distant, cold, selfish. But listen, you didn't change. You just started respecting yourself. You stopped being a background character in other people's stories. You realized your energy is sacred, and not everyone deserves to be around it. You've got to understand something. Access to you is a privilege, not a right. Just because someone has history with you doesn't mean they deserve a future with you. Just because someone once loved you doesn't mean they still belong in your life. You have to stop keeping people around out of guilt. Stop forcing conversations that drain you. Stop holding space for people who never show up for you. You don't owe anyone your peace. You don't owe explanations for your boundaries. And you don't have to keep choosing people who wouldn't even choose you back. The truth is, not everyone will understand your silence, and not everyone deserves to. When you start protecting your space, The wrong people will leave, and that's good. Let them. That's how God clears the path. The ones meant to stay won't need constant access. They'll respect your distance. They'll understand your energy. They'll appreciate your peace instead of disturbing it. You see, most people don't value what's always available. When you're always there, they stop seeing your worth. Sometimes you've got to step back to remind people that your presence is earned, not owed. And I know it feels lonely at first. You'll sit in your quiet room, wondering if you're becoming too hard. But trust me, protecting your energy is not hardness, it's healing. Because peace is expensive, and not everyone can afford to be part of your life anymore. So, stop feeling bad for outgrowing people. Stop apologizing for evolving. You're not leaving people behind. You're just walking toward your purpose. It's okay if they don't clap for you. It's okay if they don't understand you. They weren't built for your next chapter. You've got to remember, you're not meant to be accessible to everyone. You're not public property. You're limited edition. And the people who really value you will treat you like that. With care, with effort, with respect. So from now on, protect your peace like your life depends on it. Because it does. Say no without guilt. Disappear when you need to recharge. Stop explaining your silence. And stop letting people who broke you be the ones who decide when you've healed. You don't have to prove your worth anymore. Your energy speaks for itself. When your vibe changes, your tribe changes. And that's not loss. That's alignment. The truth is simple. You're not here to be liked by everyone. You're here to live in peace, to protect your spirit, and to share your light with people who can handle its warmth. So stop chasing connection and start filtering it. Because when you stop giving everyone access, you finally create space for the right ones to enter. And that's when your peace finally starts making sense. You know what's crazy? Some people have started to romanticize their weakness. They call it being too kind or too emotional, as if constantly breaking down is some kind of personality trait. But let's be honest. Weakness is not who you are. It's what you've accepted to become. And the longer you accept it, the more it becomes your identity. Every time life hits you and you say, I can't handle this, you're teaching your mind to give up faster next time. That's how weakness becomes a habit. You stop fighting. You stop showing up. You stop demanding more from yourself, and eventually, you start believing you were never capable in the first place. But the truth? You were never weak. You were just never challenged long enough to discover your real strength. Pain was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to build your resistance. You don't get stronger by avoiding pain. You get stronger by walking through it. Weakness grows when you feed it. With excuses, with comfort, with pity. Every time you choose the easy way out, You reinforce the idea that struggle is something to escape. And the more you run from struggle, the more powerless you become. If you want to stop being soft, you have to rewire how your mind reacts to discomfort. The next time something hurts, don't say, "Why me?" Say, "Try me." That one shift turns weakness into training. Here's the truth. Being emotional is human, but staying broken is a choice. Being tired is normal, but quitting isn't. Feeling hurt is okay, but letting that hurt define you isn't. You've got to start separating your feelings from your identity, because emotions are temporary. But your decisions, your habits, your actions, they shape who you become. So stop glorifying your softness. Stop saying, "I'm just built this way." No, you're built to adapt. You're built to survive. You're built to evolve. You just forgot what it feels like to be powerful, because comfort made you forget the taste of challenge. Start small. Train yourself to do the uncomfortable things. Wake up early. Stay consistent. Say no when you need to. Stop over-explaining. Stop begging for understanding. You don't need to prove your worth through pain. You need to build it through discipline. At the end of the day, nobody's coming to make you stronger. You are the only one who can break that cycle. Because weakness isn't in your DNA. It's in your decisions. So make new ones. Every single day, until strength becomes your new habit. You know what most people do after getting hurt? They start building walls. High, thick, cold walls. Just to make sure no one ever gets close again. They say, "I'm protecting my peace." But in reality, they're isolating their growth. Because walls don't just keep pain out. They keep life out too. Here's the difference nobody talks about. Walls are built out of fear, but armor is built out of strength. Walls say, "I don't want to get hurt again." Armor says, "Even if I do, I'll survive." That's the mindset shift you need to make. Every scar you carry isn't a sign of weakness. It's proof that you healed. So why hide behind fear when you already have proof you can recover? The moment you stop letting fear control your boundaries, you start using your pain as power. Building armor doesn't mean becoming heartless. It means learning to care wisely. It means knowing who deserves your energy and who doesn't. It means feeling deeply, but not breaking easily. You can still be kind, but with boundaries. You can still love, but with awareness. You can still give, but not at the cost of your peace. Armor isn't about shutting people out. It's about not depending on them to keep you whole. Once you realize that your healing doesn't require anyone's apology, you stop waiting for closure. That's when you truly grow. You've got to stop thinking that being soft means being good. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do for yourself is to stop giving chances to people who keep taking advantage of your softness. Being a good person doesn't mean being a doormat. Being kind doesn't mean being available for everyone. And being strong doesn't mean being cold. It just means being in control. Armor comes from awareness, from learning who you are after the storm. It's not about pretending to be unbreakable. It's about knowing that even when you break, you can rebuild. Stronger, sharper, and wiser than before. So don't waste your life building walls just because people didn't know how to treat your softness. Build armor instead. Armor made of lessons, self-respect, and peace. Because walls isolate, but armor elevates. Walls stop connection, but armor creates confidence. And when you finally learn that balance, when you can be gentle yet guarded, open yet wise, that's when you become unstoppable. You know what's sad? Most people will never realize that their softness isn't kindness anymore. It's fear. Fear of being judged. Fear of being left alone. Fear of not being enough. But life doesn't care about your fears. It keeps moving. The question is, will you? At some point, you've got to decide. Do you want to keep being the person who gets broken every time life gets hard? Or the one who learns how to stand taller after every fall? Stop waiting for people to understand your pain. Stop expecting the world to handle you gently. It won't. The world will test you, push you, break you, and then ask, still standing? And you have to look back at it and say, yes, I am stronger than before. This is your wake-up call. No more shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. No more crying over people who already showed you they don't care. No more giving endless chances to those who never deserved even one. You've been through enough. You've seen enough. And now, it's time to become enough for yourself. Learn to move in silence. Let your growth be the noise. Let your scars be the proof that you survived what was meant to destroy you. You don't owe softness to a world that never showed you mercy. Be gentle with your soul, but firm with your boundaries. Speak with empathy, but walk with strength. Smile, but not for approval. Smile because you know what it took to still be here. Remember, soft hearts are beautiful, but weak minds are dangerous. Protect your energy, master your emotions, and never apologize for becoming unshakable. Because at the end of the day, the world doesn't respect softness. It respects strength wrapped in silence.